Welcome to Save U.S. Taxes Legally. Here on the, I want to teach as many U.S. investors, U.S. business owners, U.S. franchisee owners, U.S. entrepreneurs, and 1099 incomers how they can save taxes legally. I'm going to give you the history. I'm going to tell you about myself. I'm going to give you examples, and then hopefully how you can set an appointment with me. So let's start off with three simple questions. Yes or no? Number one, do you want to leave a legacy for generations after generations? Yes or no? Number two, do you want to save taxes year after year, generation after generation? Yes or no? Number three, I can't stop you from being sued, but do you want all lawsuits to go away, become frivolous? Yes or no? Hopefully, you said yes to all three questions. Stay with me for the next half hour. Now, the Spendthrift Trust is legal. It's in the IRS Tax Code 643B. It's been in front of the United States Supreme Court on two separate occasions, and it's won both times. You can't get more legal than this. I personally work for a private law firm that was started 77 years ago by a Harvard law professor. Paul Benson wrote 5 specific trusts to save specific taxes. You are not tax-free. You're saving taxes. Today, we're going to talk about the two biggest trusts I sell. The business trust is for U.S. business owners, U.S. entrepreneurs, U.S. franchisee owners, and U.S. 1099 income earners. They will save at least 90% on their federal income taxes year after year, generation after generation. The beneficial trust is for all investors. I don't care what kind of investing you're doing. You will stop paying the following 5 taxes year after year, generation after generation. You'll no longer pay capital gains when you sell something at a profit. You'll no longer pay interest income taxes if you're a passive investor. You'll no longer pay dividend income taxes if you're in the stock market. You'll no longer pay rental income taxes if you're a real estate investor. And you'll no longer pay royalty income taxes if you have talent or if you're in the NFT world. I know this sounds too good to be true, but imagine saving, if you're making $100,000 gross per year, saving 5 figures in taxes. You could use this money to put back into your business, to pay off your mortgage, to buy a new vehicle, take your family on a well-deserved vacation, give to your favorite charity, save for retirement. Imagine nobody knows what you own, where you own it, how much you own, what you do with it, and how much you sell it for. Unfortunately, I'm a real estate investor, and I was told from the very first day I had to get an LLC for every one of my properties. I was not told 40% of LLCs, S Corps, and C Corps get sued every single year. Also, LLCs, S Corps, and C Corps are state law or statutory law. The Spendthrift Trust is on the federal level and it outperforms them. And imagine all lawsuits become frivolous. How much anxiety, worry, time, money do you save? This is the power of the Spendthrift Trust. My goal is to teach as many people the secret of the rich. I am honored that I learned the secret of the rich, and it's my duty and my honor to teach it to others. I also believe that the playing field must be leveled for all businesses. The Amazons of the world get free land. My brother lost his brewery after 8 years because the rents got too high. This is not fair. So let's talk a little bit about the history. This comes from England way back when King Henry VIII started the Church of England. That famous king who chopped off his wives' heads started the Church of England. Murder a few ladies? Start a church. Hey, why not? He went to go tax the lords and ladies of England, and they went further back to the 13th century to the Magna Carta and said, oh, no, King Henry VIII, you can't do this. It's contract law, the king to the colonies, while we are still part of England. The law firm I work on behalf of inherited a trust that turned 350 years old in 2023. So to think of that, before we were a country. Our current tax structure that we are under went into effect February of 1913. It was only supposed to be around for a few years, and unfortunately we got involved in World War I. Since 1913, our tax structure has grown and grown and grown and grown and grown. The super rich families of 1913 the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Carnegies, the Kennedys made sure they could save taxes. Well, if they can save taxes, we can save taxes. Now, tell you the big elephant in the room. Uh, um, I know that if you talk to your financial advisor or your CPA, they're not going to know about this. There are over 1 million active attorneys in the United States currently. Only 4% are tax attorneys. A textbook they study in law school is called Scott and Asher on Trust, 5th edition. If you're close to a law library, the Spendthrift Trust is also in Black's Law Dictionary. Again, it's a best kept secret that most people are not aware of. The law firm was started by Paul Benson. He wrote 5 specific trusts to save specific taxes. We're going to talk about the business trust and the beneficial trust. The 3rd trust he wrote is the mineral rights trust. I've only sold one of those. One of my clients who has a beneficial trust inherited his granddad's horse farm in Oklahoma. On the horse farm, there are 6 oil wells producing oil. That cannot go through the beneficial trust. That goes through the mineral rights trust. So if you have shale rights, you have oil wells, you have coal rights, you need that trust. A 4th trust he wrote, the charitable trust. So many of my clients are saving thousands of dollars in federal income taxes. They're starting their own charities. One of my clients who is a real estate investor, he does the BRRRR strategy. The first year, he went to his CPA 3 years in a row saying he was paying too much in interest income taxes. He was referred to me. And in the first year, in 2023, we saved him $185,000 in interest income taxes. His wife, Jennifer, she was a boat person from Vietnam when she was 6 years old. She came with the clothes on her back. They've started a charity to help people who have nothing, coming from Syria, coming from Ukraine, things like that, because they understand what's going wrong. That's for a 501c3 company, and it's a charitable trust. The 5th trust that Paul Benson wrote is the senior trust. I do not like this trust very much. It's for anyone over 65, and if they are impaired, maybe they had a stroke, they have dementia, or a heart attack. The senior, it's a blind trust. If they have their mental capabilities, you don't need that trust. So let's get into this. Let me share my screen. Now, the Spendthrift Trust is going to save you taxes. It's going to keep your information completely private. And I can't stop you from being sued, but all lawsuits become frivolous and go away. It's an amazing thing. Let's go to the next page. Whoops, come on, gotta go down. Next page. Now, most people are unaware that there are 4 ways to file your taxes. This is 2025 tax brackets. Single is the most expensive way. Personally, I'm single. I know about this. Then there's head of household. That's for anyone who is single with children 18 or younger. Then there's married filing separately. And then the cheapest way is married filing jointly. The reason I'm keeping the 2025 bracket in here is because I want to show you something. Quietly, on January 1st of 2025, the IRS changed married filing separately to match single all the way up to the 37th percentile. If you are married, please file jointly. I talked to a potential client. She's a digital marketer. In the first 5 months of 2025, she had made over $100,000 in her digital marketing career. Her CPA told them that they need to file separately because her husband has a W-2 job and she's a digital marketer. Check this out. If she's making $103,000 as married filing separately, she's at 22% tax rate. If she instead goes to married filing separately, she's still at 22% tax rate, but her taxes are less. She is going to be starting the trust. She started the trust in September. We take her 1099 income out of their 1040 tax return. She's going to file a separate 1041 tax return and save the money. Her husband, who's making about $95,000 a year, their tax rate is going to go from 22% down to 12%, and then he can take all the deductibles that home office, cell phone, using their car, things like that. With the Spendthrift Trust, Worrying about deductibles just goes out the window because you're saving so much in taxes. Now, this is 2026 federal income taxes. It just came out last week. Again, I want you to pay attention to married filing separately. It is still the same as single, all the way up to 35% tax rate. I'm going to show you some figures on how much you're going to save going forward. $100,000 gross in federal income taxes for the 4 different ways to file, single or married filing separately, you would save at 90%, $15,040 per year. Head of household, if you make $100,000 gross, you would save $13,410 per year. Married filing jointly, you will save $15,040 per year with the Spendthrift Trust. This is federal income taxes. You'll save 90% in federal income taxes, and in 43 states, no longer pay state income taxes. So this next slide, I'm showing you, I originally started this trust in Arizona, so I used Arizona numbers. Arizona state income taxes is a flat 2.5%. So again, $100,000, someone who is single or married filing separately would save $15,416 for the full year. Now, I do not know if you pay one lump sum in taxes, you pay quarterly, or you pay monthly. With the Spendthrift Trust, you can set it up any which way you'd like. Head of household in Arizona making $100,000 a year in taxes will save $13,745. And married filing jointly will save $15,416. Now, to give you an idea, back here, it's $100,000. Single people are saving $15,040. And now $200,000. You'll save even more. The more money you make over $100,000, the more money you'll save. Single married filing separately, it's $36,538 you'll save. Head of household, you have children, single parent with children 18 or under, you would save for the full year $34,498. In married filing jointly, you will save $30,081. I now live in North Carolina. Our tax rate is higher, 4.25% rate. Arizona, 2.5. North Carolina, 4.25. So adding North Carolina state income taxes into everything that was on $200,000, single or married filing separately will save $38,090 per year. Head of household will save $35,364. Married filing jointly will save $31,359. It depends where you live in the country. 7 states do not have state income taxes, but other states do. Now, the elephant in the room. Your CPA or your financial advisor will probably tell you there's a memorandum that the IRS wrote back on August 9th of 2023. In the memorandum, the IRS literally says they do not like tax code 643B. They do not like the irrevocable, complex, discretionary, non-grantor spendthrift trust. It's their opinion. Only Congress can change the tax code. I'm doing this video in the beginning of November of 2025. Congress can't even get the government to be running right now. We've been closed for over 34 days. Right now, our current president, his father started the Spendthrift Trust back in 1972 when Frank Trump and Donald Trump got sued by the city of New York for discrimination. If you remember 8 years ago when Donald Trump was debating Hillary Clinton and she accused him of not paying taxes, and he said because he's smart. He's a trust baby. His dad started this trust in 1972. Now, these 5 elements are very important for the Spendthrift Trust. You need all 5 of them. Again, the law firm I work on behalf of has been around for 77 years. Not a single trust has ever been audited. And if you get questioned by the IRS, now Paul Benson's grandson and great-grandson who run the law firm will defend you free of charge. In 77 years, it's happened one time only. The senior IRS agent went down to Houston, where the law firm is, spent 5 hours in the boardroom looking over the trust. He actually signed off on the trust, approved it, and 2 weeks later, he sent an unsolicited letter to the law firm. If you would like a copy of that letter, I'm going to have this on the Great Discovery so you can have a copy of that. Now let's go over these 5 elements. Irrevocable. This means it goes from generation to generation to generation. The Rockefellers Spendthrift Trust is called The Office. It's 7 generations old. It has over 400 people under the same EIN or employee identification number. Each separate family files a separate 1041 tax return, and their money is not commingled. Complex. This trust can hold money from day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, decade to decade, century to century. 97% of the trusts sold in the United States currently are what my mom and dad had and what Susie Orman talks about on PBS television, the family trust or the living trust. There's nothing wrong with the family trust or the living trust. It avoids probate and then it dissolves and all the assets are split up. This is not your mom and dad's trust. This keeps the money in the family and from generation to generation. Complex, again, it'll hold the money and you can do whatever you like with that. Discretionary, whoever is the trustee or trustees can make the rules for the beneficiaries while they're alive and also after they pass away. There's no infighting. There's no contesting the will in court. The trustee or trustees will decide who is the associate trustee when they pass away to take over the trust. One of my clients, a husband and wife in Los Angeles, they have 4 apartment buildings. Their adult daughter has a problem. They're allowing her to live rent-free, but she has to do 4 random drug tests per month to stay in the apartment. She actually took her mom and dad to federal court to sue them, saying it was unconstitutional. The judge read over the trust. He's just like, you've got 2 options. Option 1, pass the drug test and live rent-free. Or option 2, if you think it's unconstitutional, move out and start paying rent. I do not want to be invited to their Thanksgiving dinner. Non-Grantor. This makes the trust 100% private. When you start any of the 5 spendthrift trusts, you're going to have someone who will never be a beneficiary, who will never be a trustee, sign up to be the grantor or the settler for the trust. Then they sign themselves away. They have no access to the trust. They can't get paid by the trust. Nobody will know anything about this. Personally, when I started both my business and Beneficial Spendthrift Trust in September of 2000, I used a family friend who had known me since before I was born. I took him to lunch. I asked him to sign a few pages. He did. Roy's a wonderful human being. Unfortunately, he passed away at 107. So now nobody can know who he is. And then the last part, the spendthrift. This has been in front of the United States Supreme Court on 2 separate occasions, and it's won both times. You can't get more legal than this. So let's get into this. The business trust is for all U.S. business owners, U.S. entrepreneurs, U.S. franchisee owners, and U.S. 1099 income earners. You will save at least 90% on federal income taxes yearly, and in 43 states no longer pay state income taxes. This is an actual client who called me on January 3rd of 2025. He was in the military. He's single, ladies. He works for a defense contractor in Northern Virginia. And he knew in 2024 he made $150,000 and had nothing to show for it. He drives a 10-year-old car. He lives in an apartment with 2 roommates, and he needed to start changing things. Now, when we discussed this, he was planning on making more than $150,000 in 2025, but I just want to use the number that he knows about if he had this trust. At 90%, he's going to save this is 2025 numbers. He's going to save $25,962. On top of that, Virginia state income taxes are a little bit higher at 5.75%. I showed you Arizona at 2.5, and I showed you North Carolina at 4.25. Virginia is 5.75. So he'll save an extra $8,625. For the full year of 2025, he's going to save $34,587. He's paid in 1099 income. Per month, because he pays his taxes monthly, he's going to save $2,882. He will not have to pay to Virginia state income taxes, and he'll only have to pay 10% on his federal income taxes. So again, this is for all U.S. business owners, U.S. franchisee owners, U.S. entrepreneurs, and 1099 income earners. Now, my personal story. I became a real estate investor in late 2018 when my mom got sick. For me, my watershed month was October 2018. Three major things happened. I'm living in Phoenix, Arizona. My mom and dad are living in Goodyear, Arizona, 20 miles west of Phoenix on I-10. My oldest nephew in Charlotte, North Carolina, was getting married October 28th, 2018. I'm working as a Medicare broker. If you know anything about Medicare, open enrollment is from October 5th to December 7th. And I had the time saved, I had requested the Friday before the wedding and the Monday after the wedding off because I had friends and family coming in from all over the world. I was denied. I didn't like my job before that, and I liked my job even less after that. Second thing that happened, I bought a 2020 Hyundai Veloster with the moonroof. You need that in Phoenix, Arizona at night. Beautiful car. I'm driving to work to be at work at 7 o'clock in the morning on Indian School Road, a major east-west road. I'm the second car through on a green light. Some idiot runs the red light, T-bones me on my passenger side, and he has no insurance. Yes, I did have uninsured motorist at $25,000, but my car was worth more than that. Silly Sally had the paperwork sitting on her kitchen table because she had 4 weeks to fill it out. This is week 3. All of a sudden, I'm upside down on my auto loan and I need a second car. I go eating ramen noodles twice a week. I did that in college. I'm 53 years old. What the hell? This is not supposed to be happening. Third thing that happened, my mom and dad drove from Goodyear, Arizona to Charlotte for the wedding. They were supposed to be gone for 2 weeks. My dad calls me Thursday before the wedding to say my mom's in the emergency room. He's not sure what's wrong. Don't change my ticket. He'll meet me at Charlotte Douglas Airport 7:20 on Saturday morning. I'm doing a red eye from Phoenix to Charlotte. I work till 8 o'clock at night, being a Medicare broker. Drive myself to Sky Harbor Airport, get on the plane, land in Charlotte. My nephew's getting married, and his younger brother and my dad meet me. We go to IHOP for breakfast, family tradition. Gregory and Aiden go back to the house. My dad takes me to the hospital to see my mom. I walked in on the priest giving my mom last rites. I was not ready for that. I go to a wedding and then to a reception afterwards. It was a surreal day. Had a fantastic time. My cousin from Ireland was there. My cousins from New Zealand were there. Had a great time, dancing, drinking, everything else. Sunday, my sister-in-law puts on this fantastic brunch for everybody. We're calling it the smorgasbord. She's like, I'm Italian, not Swedish. Stop calling it the smorgasbord. Talking to friends and family. My dad taps me on the shoulder. He's like, let's go see your mom, and I'll drop you off at the airport. Go back to see my mom. They found out she had septic little blood. It got into her pacemaker. They had to do open heart surgery to replace her pacemaker. She was on a ventilator for 13 months, in a hospital for 15 months. Thank God she got better. My mom and dad stayed in the Charlotte area. My dad stayed with my brother and sister-in-law, whose son got married, and I was going out to their house once a week to do the mail. First week of December, there was a letter that was 27 pages thick. It was my mom's Medicare statement. Emergency room visit and 1 month on a ventilator was $72,000. Everything was being taken care of. My dad was retired military. They had TRICARE for life. She's taken care of. I'm standing in my mom and dad's kitchen. I have two car loans, 1 car. I hate my job. I have a mortgage. I have student loans because I went to graduate school. I have a $10,000 deductible on my health insurance. When I had that car accident, I asked everyone, please don't call an ambulance. I'm only bleeding from my wrist. Don't call an ambulance. And I have credit card debt. Right then and there, I called my friend Glenn, who invited me to a real estate meeting back in August of 2018. Glenn answers the phone. He's like, Sally, great to hear from you. Next week, the real estate group is having a potluck Christmas dinner. Bring a $5 gift and some food and meet the fellow real estate investors. Go to a party where I only know two people. I knew Glenn and Rhonda. They were going to be late because they were going to a Christmas pageant and they were going to show about 9 o'clock, but he wanted me to get there at 6 o'clock. Whew. I pulled up my big girl pants. I go to the party. Had a great time. At the party, I met my mentor, Jay Tannenbaum. I had been doing some tax liens in my Roth IRA. I joined the real estate group, and in 2019, Jay Tannenbaum taught us how to do bank-owned houses nationwide and then wholesale them. This is this property I bought in July of 2020. Oh, wait, let me go back to a little bit further. In 2019, I wholesaled 7 bank-owned properties nationwide, paid off all my debt, had $50,000 in my bank account. I was a good little real estate investor. I quit my job November of 2019 because I hated Medicare. My mom gets out of the hospital. We plan a huge St. Patrick's Day party in 2000. Gets canceled because of COVID. On April 1st of 2020, my 3 notes did not pay me. I had no money coming in. On April 4th of 2022, 2000, my CPA calls me and says, "Congratulations, Sally. Your tax bracket went from 22% to 24%, and you owe the federal government $94,000 in short-term capital gains." Congratulations. I have $50,000. I have nothing else. We talk on the phone. I tell him I have $50,000 saved, and he's like, "Make an appointment with me. We're going to set you up on a payment plan. There'll be interest and surcharges on that, but we'll get this taken care of." A fabulous book to read is by Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. I go to bed that night crying because where am I going to get an extra $24,000 when I have nothing coming in? Wake up the next morning, 5 a.m., and I'm like, I read an article about the Rockefellers Spendthrift Trust called The Office. I started researching that, and 5 months later, I started both my business and my Beneficial Spendthrift Trust. I also took a HELOC off my paid-off townhouse. Defeats the purpose of being paid off, but I paid my IRS bill, and I had some extra money. I bought this bank-owned reverse mortgage contract in July of 2020 for $20,000. When COVID restrictions were going to be lifted, it was going to go to auction for $50,000. The spread between $20,000 and $50,000 at $30,000 at 24% tax rate, I would owe $7,110 in short-term capital gains. I didn't start my trust until September of 2020. So what I had to do was do 2 simple bill of sales. I actually Googled it. I took it from my LLC to Sally Gimmon, from Sally Gimmon to my trust. I drove to the bank. I got Jose, my banker, to notarize it. I had $10 in my wallet, handed him the $10. He put in the notary book. Consideration was made. Drive back to my house in townhouse in Phoenix. I scanned the 2 notarized bill of sales to the attorney in Raleigh. The next day, the attorney in Raleigh says, "I need your first page of your trust." Send that to him. When it finally went to auction on August 28th of 2021, the final bid was $64,326. Without lifting a hammer, I made $44,326. At 24% tax rate, I got to save $10,368 on that first property. I put it into more real estate. Now, the Beneficial Spendthrift Trust is going to save you the 5 following taxes. You're no longer going to pay short-term or long-term capital gains. On this page, it's short-term capital gains. They're just like federal income taxes, between 10% to 37%. They affect you when you sell crypto, when you do options trading, when you're a forex investor, when you wholesale, when you fix and flip, when you do auction houses or tax liens. Interest income taxes, just like federal income taxes, are when you're a passive investor. You are in mutual funds, you're in a REIT, you're doing the BRRRR strategy, you're doing subject to real estate. If you have notes where you're the paper in the house and people pay you the mortgage. Creative financing, seller financing, and forex investors. Yes, forex investors, you get taxed twice. Dividend income taxes. If you're in the stock market, you're a day trader, you're a futures trader, you're doing commodities or living off of dividends, you're being taxed, depending on your tax bracket, uh, uh, just like federal income taxes. Rental income taxes. If you have short-term rentals like Airbnb, vacation rentals, maybe you have 3 doors, 5 doors, 10 doors, 20 doors, 100 doors. Maybe you're in multifamily, apartment buildings, commercial property, or you're doing Airbnb arbitrage. Yes, you can move a property on a depreciation schedule into the trust. Yes, you can move a property with cost averaging into the trust. Remember, LLCs, S Corps, and C Corps can be sued, and all lawsuits become frivolous. So if the renter's dog gets out and bites the mailman, they're not coming after you. One tax that's not on here is royalty income taxes. They too are taxed between 10% to 35%, 7 different layers. So it's a little bit different here, but they affect you if you're an actor, an actress, a musician, you're an author, you're an artist, you have copyrights, patents, intellectual property. The late, great Robin Williams had the Beneficial Spendthrift Trust. Yes, he committed suicide, didn't affect the trust. Now his 3 adult children pay no royalties on any of his great work. Now, long-term capital gains are a year or more and are either 15 or 20% on the profit. This is an actual client. The son saw my TikTok video over Christmas. He contacted me. His father, Jim, had never been on Zoom, so we did this by phone. They were selling their restaurant March 30th of 2023. He was working with a business broker, Sam, and I had to call Sam to tell him we had to change a contract from Jim and his wife's name to the trust name. Sam's like, 15%, he's going to save $460,000 in capital gains. Or at 20%, he's going to save $600,000. That's amazing. Sam, who was going to make $30,000 in 1099 income on this one deal, it's like, I need the business trust. I told Sam about my affiliate program. Sam tells Michael, who's buying this family restaurant, it's going to be his 7th restaurant in 3 different states. Each state has different state income taxes. Michael buys the trust. Sam made an extra $1,000. Now, I also want to discuss about IRMA, Income Related Adjustable Amount. Every October, the IRS goes back 2 years. October 2025, they went back to check 1040 tax returns of 2023. If you are on Medicare and you're making too much money, single, it's $106,000 a year. Married, it's $212,000 a year. You're going to be charged a surcharge, IRMA, on your Part B of Medicare, which is your doctor visits and your tests, and Part D of Medicare, which are your prescriptions. They take everything in consideration: your Social Security payment, your pensions, your wages, 401k or SEP withdrawals. Maybe you're making interest income taxes, capital gains taxes, dividend income taxes, or rental income taxes. All this is added together, and that surcharge is per person per month. One of my clients did very well. They have quite a bit of money in stocks. He had seen a YouTube video. He's 70. His wife is 68. He was not aware they were paying IRMA. They were paying $495 each for extra for Medicare. I could save them that amount of money. They will still have to pay $185 per month from Social Security for her policy and his policy, but they now get to save that money every single month. So they're saving dividend income taxes plus the IRMA surcharge. Now, if you would like to set up a 30-minute tax breakthrough session with me, it's www.thetrustisyou.com/scheduling. You're on the Great Discovery, so you already know about my class on the Great Discovery. You're going to get 3 articles from Forbes magazine. You're going to get 2 pages of case law to research to your heart's content, and all kinds of examples of clients saving thousands of dollars. This is legal. It's in the IRS Tax Code 643B. If you're making at least $100,000 gross per year, you will save 5 figures in taxes. I want to teach as many investors, U.S. business owners, U.S. entrepreneurs, U.S. franchisee owners, and U.S. 1099 income earners, how they too can save taxes just like I do. The law firm has 5 trust attorneys on staff. In 77 years, not a single trust has ever been audited. And now the grandson and great grandson of run the law firm. And they say if you follow the directions and you get questioned by the IRS, they'll defend you free of charge. In 77 years, it's happened once. Thank you for watching my class. I hope you learned something new and start saving taxes. Take care.